TIFU by studying ahead in my calculus class.
Well, basically this is my first time ever taking classes in college, and now am roped up in an academic dishonesty case within my school. Basically, what happened is I studied ahead in my calculus class and learned how to use certain shortcuts and formulas from the internet to make the problems go by easier. They are basic rules eventually taught to all calculus students. However, on my first calculus exam I used one called the product rule that my professor has yet to teach us. By writing it out and solving a few questions this way, my professor has come to the conclusion that I was maliciously cheating on my exam by punching my problems into an online solver. It's crazy because she never once mentioned the use of any other methods. Anyways, being interested in math and trying to get better has landed me in this posture for the first time ever as a new student. TLDR, my professor is certain that I cheated on my exam because I used techniques and methods that haven't been taught to the class yet.
It's their responsibility to prove academic dishonesty occurred. It is not upon you to prove a negative. Your possession of knowledge they did not personally impart to you is irrelevant. Please do not back down on this. Send an official email to your instructor, and CC your head of school/relevant person. Don't offer to prove anything.
You are aware of alternate/additional techniques from what your instructor has shown you. There was no mention of the particular method of solution required. The end. / Because there's a good chance that their next angle will be, we taught you this, you were supposed to use it, you used something else, so the answer is wrong. No. This is absolutely incorrect unless they clearly indicated that in the test. No university would admit to actively dissuade from or punish students for learning. Make sure they understand the implications of what they're suggesting if they don't back down and make this right. / As someone that's been on both sides of the table, things in university are a lot less cut and dry than they seem. The same rules that apply in life apply here.
Asking questions, being polite, and not backing down can make a huge difference. Source: have a 4-year STEM degree. Served as student ombudsman for an academic dishonesty case, D8 for a few courses. As a student, on no less than 2 occasions I questioned the status quo and it really paid off.
In one case I insisted on sitting with the instructor to go through my paper again, and it added 13 marks to my final grade that the instructor marked but forgot to tally. It bumped me 1 whole grade level. On the second case, my questioning actually made my instructor realize they were using the wrong Excel sheet after I left, which was marking everyone down by 20%. The girl that got full marks in the coursework exam had a final grade of 80% and the instructor didn't notice till me sitting down with him made him realize the anomaly. This was a 4th-year unit. 40% contribution to our cumulative CGPA. The instructor called me back apologizing. He was a good guy that had a brain fart. And I had randoms from my course literally calling me to thank me. For one guy, this 1 grade was enough to qualify him to get the honors degree he deserved. It's crazy too. Imagine that the literal degree he walked away with would have been affected by this 1 grade. Stand up for yourself. What you did was amazing. Don't let the above fool you. I genuinely tried. But on so many occasions I was a lazy sob that barely kept up with the material. Your passion seriously inspired me. Don't let this incident dampen your flame. Living up to this mindset will reward you in ways that may surprise you in terms of the reach of the effects.
Maybe you can ask them to give you a few problems and watch you solve them? That is absolutely ridiculous. Good luck. Be honest and hopefully they will side with you. I remember my history teacher in high school ripping up my paper because I knew about the French Revolution and could answer the questions before watching the video. In this case, the best probable thing to do is to stay calm and explain it then, but it is admittedly hard to do in a high-stress environment.
I was accused of cheating in an art history class. Because I wrote a really good paper. As was my friend in the class. The only other non-brain dead person besides myself. The teacher was a giant jerk. And seemed to hate her life. Anyway, I guess she had a little reason to be suspicious. As my friend and I treated her teaching like a joke. Because it was. We never paid much attention in class. But she misinterpreted this as us not being smart. Turns out, her crappy teaching just wasn't motivating. Once we could write about things we were passionate about. We did a great job. Wait, don't they teach differentiation in 11th grade? I am assuming diff. Since you said product rule. Also consider looking up the chain rule. It makes everything a lot simpler and easy to do. Something like this happened to me in HS. I took AP Calc in junior year and got an A but still had to take a senior year math class. I chose a class called Business Math as it was basically pre-algebra for certificate earners. I figured it would be a breeze. I failed the long division test because I did not show my work. The problems were easy, like 1004 divided by 26. I did them in my head as we only had to go to the second remainder digit. The teacher accused me of cheating. I laughed at first because the test was in his classroom and I sat directly in front of him. I thought he was joking. He wasn't. I gave him a long division problem and told him to do it in his head, and he was not appreciative of that. We had a teacher and administrator and student conference after that. I proved to them both in real time I could do the whole test in my head. He was mad but amazed. Both of them were. I still didn't understand what was so hard about that. I still failed the test because I did not show my work even though it was not stipulated on the test. He can't differentiate between hard workers and cheaters. Sorry. It's like how Gauss got in trouble for seeing the fast way to add the numbers from 1 to 100 that had been given to his class as busywork. You're in fine company. When I took calculus, my professor expected some of us to do the same thing, so his questions usually had to use this method if he wanted something specific. Another thing is I tutor lower level math, and when helping pre-calc students I will sometimes do the derivative in my head just to check if they got the right answer. Interesting thing is if you do the product rule on a fraction you get the quotient rule. Good times. Best of luck with your school. My senior year of high school. My English teacher gave my class this paper to write that was supposed to explain how something worked. Never gave anything specific that we had to choose. So I decided to explain how nuclear reactors worked because I sort of knew the science behind it. I did my research, wrote my paper, and she said I plagiarized it because I wasn't smart enough to know about that.
Math.jpg.
I expect this in high school, but college? Yikes. That's a red flag IDK for the college or the professor. Today I fucked up reading this whole thread, having dropped maths at 16 and never caring about it. I've learned new words, but I don't even know when I'd ever use them. Wait, you get to college before you see the product rule for the first time? When I took Calc 1 as a college freshman I had already passed it in high school. But had to retake anyway because it wasn't AP, so no college credit. Same stuff tended to happen when I would try to explain problems to my roommate. But his class hadn't learned it yet. So I was actually trying to teach him extra stuff. Anyways, as long as the professor didn't specifically ask you to use one method to prove your understanding of it, you're good. Not that I really think that's a very useful practice either. And this is why I hate college amongst many other more American-centric reasons.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.